We have not a Donald Trump problem. We have a Republican Party problem. We have a Republican Party problem. And every time we exalt a reasonable Republican, we are diminishing the size and the depth of the problem with the Republican Party. And I would also argue that for a lot of them, that's their agenda. It is to mitigate the damage to their brand. We will talk more about that, but here's a reminder. Now, almost every single Republican politician, right, at the beginning of Donald Trump's career, had distanced themselves from him, except for, I think, Jeff Sessions, who, of course, was immediately booted. But here's Rand Paul. How does Rand Paul respond to the doubling of infections over the course of the past 2 or 3 weeks, to 25% more deaths over the past 2 or 3 weeks on a daily basis, to the spiraling out of control, and to the most sort of disturbing aspect of this, really, is we are overrunning our capacity to treat people. How does he respond? Well, here he is on Fox News saying we should be celebrating.
Protecting them. But the other thing is we have 11 million people in our country who have already had COVID. We should tell them to celebrate. We should tell them to throw away their masks, go to restaurants, live again, because these people are now immune. But Dr. Fauci doesn't want to admit to any of that. Dr. Fauci's like, oh, woe is me, until the election occurs, and now maybe he'll be changing his attitude. But the bottom line is there's a great...
How despicable does it get? First off, we don't know the level of immunity that people with COVID have. We don't know if it lasts for 3 weeks or 2 weeks or 6 months. People with antibodies rarely go to the hospital and get a measure of how much antibodies they have, because it's not just enough to have antibodies. You need to know how much antibodies you have. We don't know how long it will last. But also, when you go out there and you don't wear your mask, what you're signaling to other people, because they don't know that you have had it, you're signaling to other people that they shouldn't wear their masks. And the idea that Rand Paul would sit there and make his pouty voice and make it about the election is just, it is stunning. And honestly, this is the Republican Party. And the fact that I even have to say it that way is indicative of a massive failure by the media and the Democrats, frankly, because it's their job to make this clear to people. And it's a failure of mine too, I guess, to some extent, because it's my job to do that too.